So today, some people are still talking with their friends. So today, what? It's blurry. Yeah, where's that guy? There's a guy there in front. Hey, jump on the thing and then, you're gonna fall. Climb the table. The thing is blurry and move it to the right. First move it to the side, to the right. A little bit up, can it go up? It's fine. To the right again. Sharp. Fine. Okay, now there's a thing for the focus there. In front. This is something you can turn. No. Hey. It's a wheel. You must turn it. Until you can see. You see, now it's too blurry. Yeah. That's the zoom, eh? Zoom it to the maximum. That's the zoom. No, first zoom it. Zoom it. There is zoom and there's focus. Zoom it to the maximum. Is it full now? Okay, you see on the globe where the light is coming from? On the project, look. Do you see where the light is coming from? There's a circle next to the light, surrounding the light. Turn it. Now that's the focus. Until people can, you can't turn it. There's a wheel. Leave it. Use until they can see. People can't see. You're making it worse. I still can't read. Take it back. Where did you start with the focus? Let's see. Okay, it's too blurry. You are coming with it nicely. How are you getting this wrong? Can you guys see? We need another candidate. You are 12. We're bringing support. Yeah, first zoom it to be maximum. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, so the lesson today will be to try and catch up with the other class. The other class we completed the CRUD operation with Windows Form. Well, not really completed. We did at least 2 functionality. This doesn't require writing, eh? I don't know why you want to write. This requires implementation. Okay, so our first step, as usual, we're going to create a database and we will work with class. So I'm going to create a database that I'm calling CRUD. What is the meaning of CRUD? What? Create, update, delete. Not get it. So CRUD is an operation for an all-rounder, wherein it gives you, you are supposed to complete creating operation, read, update, and then delete. So if we're saying you're a full stack developer, you should be able to create this straight from your sleep. Okay, so here's my database. Remember, it's very important for you to add your name as an extension of your database name, because we have a lot of those. Okay, by default, my database becomes the last one on the list, and I'm going to create a table. The reason I'm sitting here is because I want to see if you're implementing or you're trying to be smart. Although I'm recording, the recording is not for you, right? And if you are left behind, you are left behind. I won't be rolling back. Yeah. By the way, you are left with how many months now at Dynamic Journey? 3. How many stipends have you received? 1. You are waiting for the second one. That means you are left with 4 months. You think it's a lot of months? Now, the issue we're having now is that people are still coming here to work and waiting for a facilitator. You are going to die. A slow death. I usually tell people that you are required to come here 2 days a week for the practicals, because we don't want to assume that you've got a machine at home that you can do this, right? But you can still come on other days. Just that there will be no timetable. Do you get it? We're not saying do not come. If you feel like you're falling behind, don't listen to your friends who are saying, what was draw? Ne? Because you're left with 4 months. It's for real. You're left with 4 months. If you're thinking this is a 12 months learnership, you will suffer another death. COVID. So if you are falling behind and you know these things are showing you flames, and you on Monday you are sleeping, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, kumnand, you only focus on work Tuesday and Wednesday, how you've got another thing coming for you. When this company sits with you to say, show us what you have, they expect you to have been working Monday to Sunday. That's how much knowledge they expect you to have. And your knowledge will only be based on Tuesday and Wednesday. You are going to suffer. I still have people in this class who, when I say, create me a database, 2 months later, they create a database with 1 table. But the person, you will only see the person Tuesday and Wednesday. And they'll be the first one at 2 to say, oh, there's no facilitator here. We can leave. You check the work, it does not reflect what they are doing. Just warning you. There are some people who do come and work, right? But also, if you are here to work on other days, there must be results that are showing, isn't it? You can't just be here for fun. You are here to catch up on Uzal. So if you are one of those who are coming, make sure that the results are also showing. And not only on the subject. Very soon, these subjects we're doing, which is C# and database, will be out of the way. And we'll be bringing more subjects. Some of them are even boring. But then, imagine you have done database in C# in your first 2 months, then you do other things that you're not going to be asked about in the interview. 4 months later, you sit down, they ask you to design a database. You don't have enough knowledge to do it, you stand a very good chance of not being considered. So please, implementation is very important. You have got all the resources, guys. We are just using them wrong. Money. Okay, so we're gonna be designing a database, just a single table database, because this is just a CRUD operation. We wanna do a method for creating, a method for reading, a method for updating, and a method for deleting data in the database. We're gonna do a Windows application on C#. Okay, so since we'll be dealing with cars, let me do a car ID here. Then I'll do the brand. So I'm not gonna normalize this table, right? We'll do the model. We'll also pull up the year. I don't want a lot of things. It complicates the thing. So let's also get a photo of the car. Okay, kilometers. No, let's leave the kilometers and get a picture. I'm gonna call it a photo here, and it will be of type image. So the photo I'm leaving as null, very good reason for that, I'll explain later. This obviously is an integer, and this is a primary key as well. Not forgetting that since it's a primary key, it must be an identity. We have people who struggle with this, I don't know why. Then we have a brand here. Let me just give these ones variable characters. The default one. Oh no, this one, let me give it an int as well. Basically, that's the table I want to deal with, and you will notice that I'm leaving the image to allow nulls, right? When we say allow nulls, what do we mean? What? It's not necessary, right? So you can either upload or not upload. The data will still be saved. So this one, I'm gonna save it as cars. Okay, I think from this side I'm done. I can go confirm that my table has been created. Now, when we go to the database or when we are reading from this table, this DBO is not really required. You have seen that when you create a database, it comes with the DBO, right? Dot the name of a table. But then it's not really required when you're writing queries. But then if you do your select all, you will see that the DBO will be displayed in the square brackets. Can you see it? So when we say from this one picks first from the name of the database, right? To say select top 1000, which top was one of the questions for those who have already written a test or something like that. Simply to ask, what does the keyword top mean? Ooh. What do you think it means here? This simply means if the database has like 5,000 records, it's going to only pull up the top 1,000 and forget the other 4,000 which is left behind. But you ask someone this, yo, oh, lo. Hey. It's going to be tough. Okay, as you can see, car ID and what, and all of that. Now let's write. Okay, let's first go to Visual Studio and create a project. This will be a Windows Form project, so it should be simple to do. Yes. Okay, so this is CRUD Tendo. So the same name as the database. Okay, so on the .NET here, this new Visual Studio, it's nice, but the fact that it only gives me the .NET 6.0, it's a struggle. Okay, while my project is being loaded, I'm gonna go back here and create two queries. Okay, so the first one is to insert data to that table, right? Now, because, okay, let me just go straight to it. I'm already, it's focused here. It's focused on this database, so I don't have to write the word use. So let me just go straight and work with the insert. So insert into, what is the name of my database? My table, it's cars, ne? Set into cars. Then you must mention the name of the columns. I'll tell you why this is important. Because we have a null value, right? So remember when we were creating our table, we left photo as null, right? So by nature of things, if you just say insert and you don't mention the name of the columns that you are targeting, and you just go straight to values, it's going to assume that the first value you're gonna put is the car ID, right? Then the second one will be brand, fourth one will be this, in that order, right? But we are going to omit in our first tries, we are going to omit image. So you can imagine how confused it was going to be to read the columns and realize that the columns are actually 5. This person gave me 4 values or 3 values. Okay, so first value, car ID, we don't have to do it because it's generated. Second one, it's the brand, ne? Brand, comma, model, comma, year. Ooh. Do you see that year is a reserved word? But it won't give us a lot of issues because we've already mentioned some stuff from there. So let's go to values. No. At this stage, no. Hence, I allowed it to be null. There will be a point where we'll have to put a photo, right? But then right now, I'm waiting for the project to be created on Visual Studio. Then, you can work on that. Okay, let's hope it loads. There's a tendency of not loading. Okay, so the values, first one, it's a string, second one, it's a string, third one, it's a year. So we can leave it like that. You get it, ne? So we can even put values here. So we can say the brand, we can say this is VW, and then the model, we can say Polo, Vivo, and then on the year, we can say this is 2022. And then we execute this. You can see that one row has been affected, right? This is the first query we're gonna write to insert. So this query, if it works here, this query, it must work even on Visual Studio. Ne? But on Visual Studio, we're not going to be having these values. We're going to be picking values from our text boxes and all of that. Understood, ne? So I'm going to keep this query here. I'm not going to remove it, but I'm going to go create a new query. This is a read query now. This is a read query. So the one for read looks like this. We're going to say select. We are looking for the brand. Comma, model, comma, year. Okay. From, that is not the correct spelling for year. Year. Okay. From cars. Okay. Let's try to execute this. As you can see, you see I've omitted the car ID. It's not important for me at this stage. Yeah. Let me also just say, give me the photo also. Let's see if it can pick this up. There we go. You can see there's no value on the photo, right? It's just whatever I gave it. So I will still have time. We can wrap this up. Right. We are now back to our Visual Studio. If you're not implementing, it's your own fault. If you're left behind, it's still your own fault. I'm moving very slow here. Okay. Now, first thing first, let's connect to our database. Let's deal with that part. So, Server Explorer, connect to my database. If you don't know these stages, still your own fault. Okay, what is the server name of the thing we use here? It's SQL Server, right? Dot dynamic dna.co.za. Okay, we change this to server authentication. What is the username that you guys are using? You know, I don't have to tell you. I'm using mine. Right here, I can easily, instead of scrolling and looking for all the database names, I can easily just come here and say, I think I was calling it CRUD Felicia. There we go. Now, if that has been done, test the connection. It looks good. It's not our fault. Press OK. These are things that you should be knowing. Now, as you would have imagined, my thing has a green thing now. It's ready to be connected to. And as you can see, the connection string there. So I immediately start here, connection string. Then I double click on the form, right? Just to go to the back end. Okay. Oh. How do I get involved in that? Those are IT issues. IT issues. Who's responsible for IT issues? It's not me. That's what I'm sure of. So figure out a way to not make it expire. What am I supposed to do? Now, when we are here, mine is the latest version, so it doesn't have exactly what you have. When yours start, it starts by saying using or something at the top. Ne? It's still the same, just that mine is using the whole background kind of thing. So, okay, I think we all start here. We go to tools, because our Visual Studio, I'm not sure, some of yours could be fine, but our Visual Studio these days, what they've done is they've removed the capabilities of every library. And when, hello, I'm trying to speak here. Someone wants to teach. So they've removed capabilities of all the libraries because the project used to be heavy because it used to have all libraries, right? So the SQL capabilities on Visual Studio has been removed. You need to download it first, but it's a small package. So, and I don't think it needs any rights. So if you go to tools, you get this under the NuGet Packet Manager, right? This is where if you're missing an extension, you must just come and then you go to the middle solution, which is manage NuGet Packet for solution. Now this will open another page here and it will show you all the install. So this only relates to this project, right? So if you download it now and you create a new project, you are still not gonna find it. It's only attached per project. So this project, as you can see, there is no package that has been installed. So I must go to browse. This is like you're on the internet now. You're going to browse and you are looking for SQL, right? So we look for SQL. The specific one we're looking for is this one, which says system.data.sql client, right? This one. You can see how big it is, ne? No, this is how many people have downloaded it. But it's not, which version is this? 4.8.3. Okay, this will work. Okay, so we click that one and then we go and tick our project to say we want this to be installed in our project. And then from there we say install. Others will be asking their friends, where did you click? This is where I clicked. You come here on the start button and you click here, power. It downloads the SQL, especially if you say shut down. It will download that thing I'm talking about. Okay, so these are all the things that are gonna be there. Someone will still ask, where do we click here? But you can see, okay. But if you wanna press cancel, it also works. Okay, you can also decline here if you want to decline. Okay, I think we're done now. It's gonna install. You will see very soon it's going to write that this has been installed. Yeah. Okay, let's go to things that have been installed. You can see that it exists. Ne? There's now one thing that has been installed. So for example, if our project was also using webcams, if it was using fingerprint, all of those things, what Visual Studio have done, you need to come download them, right? So that it can have those capabilities. Okay, so we're done with this NuGet Packet solution. Now we can start with the using thing. So just in between your usings there, wherever you feel like you wanna put it, you're gonna go and say using system.data.sql client. Like that. So now your project has SQL capabilities. Okay? Then you get into your project, then you get into your first class. From your first class, that's where you're going to start talking to your project about things that are important. And I'm going to write a couple of them because I'm anticipating how far we can go with this. So first thing first, it's an SQL connection. Mine is a little bit smart, right? It does this thing very fast. I prefer calling it con. Equals to new SQL connection. So don't be surprised when I'm not even typing anything. So this new Visual Studio, it predicts based on experience. Right? That's the good thing with this Visual Studio 2022. So if I program today, whatever I've written, it's learning how I program. Ne? Tomorrow, when I type SQL con, it completes the whole statement. And then I can just filter it where I want. Okay. This is where we're going to put the connection string. Ne? Done. Let's go look for the... You remember where's the connection string? You click the database. You'll find the connection string somewhere there. Highlight all of it. Copy it and then bring it to your project. But you must now reveal the password. Okay. We're done. We can go design our nice form now. Now this doesn't require a magnifier. I can just do this alone, and then you'll just try to, however you want your form to look. I'm not interested in front end. If you have not learned front end, especially those who are from level 4, it's your own fault. Okay, now I'm just gonna deal with my form here. Change this to fixed tool window, change the back color to be exactly white. Maybe change the font a little bit so that you guys can see. Ooh, that increased the whole form, eh? You didn't want that. Okay, this should work. Remove the text. And then what else? That position, bring me to the center. Change the max box and the minimize box. Okay, I think I like that. Then back to my toolbox. I will need, so very important thing here to also note is that because I want my form to move in order, I'm gonna start with a label, then I'm gonna move on to a text box, okay, and then quickly design those two based on the database. So the text of this will be the brand, so we'll accept the brand to be, why did I click it? Because now it's gonna give me issues when I need to change the name. Okay, the brands, and I keep clicking these things. Okay, brands, copy paste. What is the second thing on the database? Okay, we hit with model. Others are seeing flames now. Wow. When did we do these things? We never did these things. The other one is a yen, eh? Okay, it's a yen. Ooh. Zam. Okay, so I'm making this as if it's a car rental company. So let me decorate it. Let me bring the picture box somewhere here where I will load in the stretch image. I will then load, come on, give me my loading pictures. I will load a picture of a car rental company. Someone is already asking their friend, where did you get that one? We are lost. You are too fast. I had that yesterday. Hey, I laughed. Okay. You know, there's no reason for these three to be that big. Might as well make them small. Yeah, that should do it. All right. Now, because there will be a picture, I want another picture box. I'm gonna put it on the side. This is where we'll load the picture of the car. We'll load it here. And then I need a button. Maybe a couple of them. So button 1. So maybe this one would be a button to browse. This one we're browsing to upload the picture, right? Then second button, this one we can call it cancel. Then the third button can actually save what we've just done. Okay. I'm happy with this design. Let me just put it nicely now. All right. Save all so that I don't lose anything. Okay, now comes the important part, renaming the values. I will get an error because there's somewhere I clicked and I'm already in the back end. Let me show you, especially text box 1. I double click text box 1 and it's already here. So if I remove this code because I want to rename text box 1, I'll have issues. So what I need to do, just to say this one, first one, which is text box 1, under the name design, what is it going to hold? The brand, brand TXB. I'm just changing the name, not the text, the name. Go to the model, properties, under the category of design, it's called text box 2. I'm going to change this and call it, what is it holding? Model TXB, short for text box. The year, I do the same thing. This thing doesn't just come to your mind without practicing, TXB. Right. The button are also important, but let me start with the picture box. So this one, under the design, again, it's called picture box 2. I'm going to call it photo picture box, PBX. Ooh. The first button, it's for browsing, so I will say browse BTN, cancel BTN, save BTN. I think I'm done. I am done. Billy. Stressa una. Ndinosvika mandikotoma nganga utopesa imwe session yapo ndichitopedza ndikogenerera fungo. Correct. Okay. Sharp. Okay. Important to run it at this stage such that your machine is ready to run this thing later on. Okay. Let's see what we have for ourselves. You can see I can't really see the picture box which is supposed to be here. So let me quickly go deal with that one, because that's an issue now. What? Okay. Ooh. This thing has attention. So I think the border style of this thing is wrong. So where is it? Border style of this picture box, it's set to none. So I'm gonna put it at fixed 3D. That always does the job. Run it. Yes. Just move it from none. Move it from none. You can see now it's visible that there's supposed to be a picture here, right? So we'll load the picture. So what's going to happen is we'll write those details here. Say Polo, not the brand. No, so we can say BMW M3 2019. When you click browse, you know how to browse an image, right? It will open that file dialog. We'll go select a specific image, and once we're done, it should be loaded here. It is that simple. Then when you say cancel, it must clear the data, right? Even the picture. When we press save, it must immediately let us save the information. Okay, so there are two things we're going to deal with here. We're going to deal with validation of checking if ever we got data from the user. Ne? Hallelujah. So we're going to deal with the first validation to say, did we get data from the user? Okay, let me end my application. Okay, which one is the easier function to deal with? The cancel, ne? Cancelling, remember, we're just adding values there. So double click on the button for cancel, and we can start programming. So here I can give you the benefit of the doubt and bring back the magnifier. Okay, so when you press the cancel button, I want to call a function called clear data. Do I have this function? I don't have it, ne? You can see it's already underlining that, hey, you are calling a predefined function. You are saying you are calling it clear data, but you don't have this function. But Visual Studio, it's smart. Once it underlines, it even gives you this thing, which is like a suggestion, right? So I'm going to click it and say, what do you suggest for me? And already you can see it's saying, do you want us to create a function for you, a method called clear data? Ne? I will say, yes, create it for me. It will come underneath this button. Boom. You saw, ne? It has now created a function called clear data, right? With just one line inside. So I remove this line, then I start programming. So what do I want to clear? I want to clear the brand text box, ne? Dot text. This should be equals to nothing. What's wrong? How are you left behind? What happened? Guys, you don't have to go with the suggestion. You can create your own function. I just prefer, you can write it from scratch. The same way you see it on the screen there. It doesn't require magic to say, because he pressed the suggestion, I'm not seeing the suggestion. No, you can do it yourself. Okay, what else do I want to clear? The model text box. You see, it's already suggesting, hey, my guy, I think you want to say model, the text equals to like that. The other one is what? The here text box dot text. It's equals to nothing. But we also have what? The picture, ne? So the picture will look like this. We're calling it what? Photo picture box, ne? But this is not dot text. So we'll say dot image. We'll say it's equals to none. How nice is this thing? Then we bring the focus back to brand. Brand must now dot focus. Okay, this does it. So what's happening is, once we press the button cancel, right? This is when we press the button cancel. What does it do? It calls a function called what? Clear data, right? Where is that function? It's here. What is that function doing? It removes the text of the brand, the text of the model, the text of the year, and it removes the picture, right? But then it puts the cursor back into the brand. That's all it does. Okay, let's go test it out. Now imagine you're using Visual Studio with a black theme and you're having errors. Have a black theme means that, you know, you're the guru. But then you start having errors on your black theme. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Let us test our values, all right? So you'll put something. We just don't have the capabilities of uploading a picture as yet. But then when we press cancel, the values are working, eh? So already save again. Now, off to validation. Oh, let's go to the browse. We really need the powers of browsing right now. Yeah, but wait. That code sometimes is difficult. So I need to refer to my notes here. Let's check. It's very simple. Yeah, this is it. This one. Browse immediately. Okay. I'll explain it, don't worry. I just don't have time to be knowing that thing. It's not important in life. So double clicking on the browse. Okay. Now, we need something. We need something first. Back to the design. I forgot that important thing. You see here on your toolbox, there are some properties wherein if you drag them and put them here, they are not really visible, right? They are behind the scene properties. So let's look for something called Open File Dialog. Can you see it? So the Open File Dialog is the one that allows us to select a file in our computer to be loaded in an external application. Did you find Open File? Yes. So you drag it, you put it on the form, ne? You're not going to be able to see it. It's not like a text box or something like that. But it comes here at the bottom. You can see it, ne? It comes somewhere there. And then you can see its properties here. Right? You can see its properties. I want to change the name of it from being called Open File Dialog 1. I will say Open Picture. Or Open Photo. Open Photo. Like that. So this is now called Open Photo, as you can see. Now, when we double click on the browse, what we want is that particular code. And let me explain it line by line, instead of just hitting all of it. So first of all, you need to filter what kind of files do you want to upload, right? This is how you filter. So you say on your Open File Dialog, which you are calling it what? Open Photo. So you will say Open Photo.filter. You are filtering what kind of files are you looking for. You get it? So what kind of files are you looking for? You are filtering. So here, as you can see, we're looking for JPEG, which is a picture, right? We're looking for JPG. We're looking for a BMP. We're looking for an all extension of BMP, which is the dot. We're also looking for all files, right? That's all we're interested in. You can add more. You can add PDF. You can add MP3. Are you following? You can't find the straight thing. Yeah. Come on, guys. You don't know which one is a backward slash.
There's a backspace.
We're moving on. Okay, now that you have said these are the kind of files you're looking for, as I've said, you can add more, but for now, don't filter around it. Now that you have mentioned that, we now need to find out if ever the results of that dialog will show us an OK sign. An OK sign will be saying we actually got something. The user have actually clicked one of these files, right? That's basically that. So what does it say? The dialog results, mine is quicker. You will see my Visual Studio. So dialog results, we're gonna call them res, short for results. It equals to dialog results dot OK. It's simple, ne? Hey, no, do not correct. Dialog results will be equal to res show dialog. Okay, we need to open the dialog. So, which one is what's the name of our dialog? Open photo dot show dialog. Now with this code, let's just see what happens only with these two lines. The first one, remember, is to filter, right? The second one is to open the dialog. So if I run this code right now, check what happens. I'm not interested in the other value, but when I press browse, do you see it opens a file dialog where I can go select an image and check the type of files. It will be the JPEG, it will be the PMP, and all kind of files, such that if I go to my downloads, I can easily select the files, you see? But right now I can't do anything. Sabange? I can't do anything besides just opening a file dialog. Remember, we stopped programming exactly when we say open photo.show dialog. It's like message box.show. All right. Moving on. From here, I think we just run an if statement to load the file in the picture box. Okay, so what do? We check if res has resulted in the what? When someone has pressed OK after loading the image, then we're gonna call our picture box that is gonna hold the file we have selected, right? And we say its image will now be equal to an image which is coming from a file, where that file is inside of the open photo dialog. Because this is long. Okay, so if our res, which is this results, right? If someone has pressed OK, right? That means our picture box, which we're calling it photo picture box, its own image will be equal to the image that is coming from a file, but this file we're calling it open photo. Yes, done. We are saying if someone has pressed OK, right? If someone has pressed OK when we show them the file dialog, if they select a file and press OK, take that photo that has been selected, right, and put it in the picture box next to in our form. So our picture box dot image, instead of it being null, will now be equal to an image which is coming from a file. Where is that file? It's an open dialog file, which is this one. dot file name. Done. It should give you suggestion as you're typing this thing. You got it, ne? You can run it. People are still talking in this class. You can come show us. Okay, let's test our program and see if this thing works. Okay, so putting our details, press browse, go look for a photo. Yes, a Bajaj. You can see, ne? The idea, obviously when I say cancel, everything goes, eh? I've already dealt with the function for cancel. I'm now worried about the image I'm uploading here. It seems as if it comes, yeah, it's not coming out nice. So I need to like hit it, you know, change this to stretch so that I can see the full picture, regardless of how to look like. But the full picture could be important. Okay, so that we do it in our design. Ooh, my design is locked. Design, design is frozen. Okay, where was it? Where did I click? Form 1, design. Okay, so this picture box here, stretch is a normal, put it to stretch, press save, run my program. Remember, I'm only testing the image now. There we go. Image is loaded. Cancel, things are happening. Okay. Remember, we're not yet adding to the database, eh? We're still playing around. Can I carry on? Yes. The answer is yes. Remember, when you're lost alone. I'm not lost. And then, so remember our lesson constitutes of C# and database at the same time, right? So someone must not say, hey, we've never been taught C#. Things of C#, I do not believe in teaching you what is a variable. I'm not interested in those things. So is the company. They are not. Can you program? That's the question. You get it? So if you can't program and you know what is a variable, there's something wrong with you. So now let's deal with validation, because we have our values, ne? Let's deal with validation. So validation will start. So the browse works, the cancel works. One more important thing is the save, ne? Okay, go into that scary thing called the save now. We are here. Okay, now into this function for save, we first need to deal with validation. If the values are there, ne? Is someone just pressing save for the fun of pressing save, or there's actually something they've entered? We're together, ne? So many ways of doing this, but I think the best one will be to use an if statement. Okay? An if statement coupled together with an else. Okay. You see, I've just done a template of those two, ne? Just to prepare your minds. There's an if, that means we're going to write some stuff on the if. There's an else, that means we're going to write some stuff on the else. Now, how should I validate? Should I validate that someone has given us the value or someone didn't give us the value? We'll see. Let's check it out. So if I say, check the brand for me, check the text. We're talking, guys. So I'm saying if the brand dot text dot length, yeah, this will work. If it's less than 1, that means there's nothing. You get it? Hello? I'm saying if the brand text box, its own text, the length of that text, if it's less than 1, that means someone didn't type anything on that text box. We're together, eh? Let me just say, if that has happened, give us a message box dot show to say, hey, fill in all the fields. All right. Else nothing happened. So far, ne? Else nothing will happen. Running my code just with that line, because you need to be very sure of what's happening here. So if I type something here, something here, something here, regardless whether I browse the image or not, and you press save, nothing happens. This falls part of the else, ne? But guess what? If you don't have any text there and you press save, you now get a message to say what? Fill in all the fields. So that control that I'm using there, that validation, it's working. Eh? But remember, I've only focused on the brand. I need to also include the model. Eh? I also need to include the year. Remember, on the database, we said the picture is not important. I cannot include the picture in that equation. Capish? All right. Stop. That means now, the only thing I have to do is to add the other fields. Okay, so there are two options here. We have an and or an or. The one which will work for us is an or. Okay, so an or, it's one of those two things we've been looking for. So we have a model text box, the same one, dot text dot length. If it's also less than 1, we put another or. We go and say it's the year now. Text box dot text dot length. If it's also less than 1. You don't have to be looking at the board all the time. This code, I don't know, because other are typing letter by letter, looking. Oh, model M O G E, but it's the Visual Studio is busy suggesting for them. Okay, so if you miss any of those fields, you will have an issue with our program, right? What happens if you don't miss? That's where we're getting to. The juice is starting now. Are you ready? This is where you are going to die. Okay, so from here, we immediately start. Oh, let's start with, I want to make sure that this program is proper. We're going to make sure that we, there are too many brackets here. I'm thinking of creating a function. Function to open the database. Function, it will be too complicated. Let me just do it here. So we're starting con dot open. Hey, wait. We can't just do that. we need to write a try statement. So try. Because we're not sure, we can't just assume that connection will be open. What if there's no internet? What are you going to tell the user? So try. If you type try, and while the cursor is still on the Y, you press tab twice, it's going to create a try and catch statement for you. But you can type it out if you prefer the long route, so that you complain that I was too fast. This is how I was fast. So there we go. It has created a try and catch for me. Let me deal with the exception first. So after writing an exception, let's type EX. It's just a variable. You can type any variable name you want. And then remove the throw. We don't want it to throw anything. We want it to tell the user something. So message box dot show. Okay. Plus EX. We're coming to it very soon. I want you to understand this try statement. Now, trying simply means that you acknowledge that something can go wrong as you're trying to do this. If something goes wrong, what are you going to tell the user? Right? What were we supposed to do here? We're supposed to say con.open. This is now in our try. We're trying. We're not saying it's for sure the connection will open, but if it does open, good for us. We're also going to close it. Yes. Obviously, we'll do something between con.open and con.close. But for now, we're just saying what? If ever the computer is trying to open the connection, that means it's trying to make sure Visual Studio can communicate to that connection string, which is sitting in the SQL somewhere upstairs. If that doesn't work, maybe there's load shedding upstairs. What are we going to tell the user? This is where we are. We are catching an exception. So this is where we are. We'll start telling the user. I can just say failed to connect to DB. Well, I'm just fast. I saw it. Okay. Then I can put /n. What does /n do? It puts the next, whatever is coming to the next line. I'm going to hit another /n. So 2 next lines. Then I will say the error details are as follows. Tails. That looks okay. Now, all of these things I'm writing here, they come with experience. I had to sit extra classes for this. I had to sometimes not eat. So don't think if you are eating, you're going to know these things. Stop eating. All right. So this is simply that. Was just saying we failed to connect to the database. The error details are the following. Now, whatever the computer will be saying will be cached on this value called EX. That's why I'm displaying it here to say, in case you are interested to finding out what happened, we will display EX. Now, let's go test this out. It's very important for us to test it out. Just gonna press run the program. And for those of you who are using network cables, it's very easy to test this. Remember, our connection string is red. So if I press, okay, and it needs details. Details. Even if you don't have a picture, it's fine. And I press save. Nothing happened. But trust me, a connection has been opened and closed. Do you get me? Now, if I just go to my connection string, let me just go mess it up. If I just go to my connection string, where is it? Where is that thing? If I just go and remove D here, remember that is the connection string I was given, and I run my application, and I say, hey, when it's running, where is it? Ah, it's already not running. Okay, wait. D. Let me bring D back because it's looking for this data source. Let me just make a mess and add another password. Will this thing run? Definitely. Okay, now add some details so that we bypass the validation. Remember the password is wrong, né? Let me zoom in now. And I press save. Do you see now? What did he say? We failed to connect to the database, right? But then this is now the error message that speaks to the what? To the developers or the technician who are there to fix whatever happened, right? So they will know that it's saying error details is to say system data SQL connection, there was an exception. Login failed for this specific user, right? And you can see it saying, hey, there was some password issues, there's password, but it's a long thing that no one is interested in. You get what we mean when you say catch exception. If I didn't catch it, what probably was going to happen is that the user was going to see this message and it was going to start here. System.data.sql what? You know, and people will start assuming things. Hey, our systems are down. Okay. Let me go bring back. So that message, you can get it even if it's what? Even if you have got connection issues, right? Like no internet and all those kind of things. Okay, now we know when you don't have the right connection, something is not gonna work. What if everything is fine? What are we supposed to do when we've opened the connection? We're now supposed to add the values that we've been given by the user straight to the what? To the database. That's why it's going to be lit now. But we're almost done with this thing. Eh? Remember, we're still trying to do the CRUD. Eh? We're not even on C yet. We're trying to do C. But trust me, once we do C, the rest just follows. Okay, let's do it. So now we need an SQL command. Okay, we're gonna call it com. Okay, and this obviously will be an SQL command which looks like this. Now, something to note on the command, né? Something to note is that the command looks exactly like the SQL connection. Can you see? It looks exactly, but there's a twist. Let me show you the SQL connection. Where was it? Here. You see, this one just say SQL connection. The one we're writing is SQL command, right? This one we're calling it con. The new one we're calling it com. They still have new and their respective class name. They still have a bracket with colons, né? And that's where we put the details inside. The only twist that you must be careful of on the command is that the command must run on a connection. So connection must exist first for command to be there. What do I mean by that? Is to say once you have run your command here, you need to say this command is for the following connection. You see what we've just done. So you just say SQL command com was to new SQL command. Hey, what happened there? And this command runs on con. Okay? I'm going to come write the command very soon. In fact, we'll copy it. Next thing, we need to execute this command. It also gets lit. Because when we're running the command, something can go wrong. Ne? Maybe you didn't write the correct select statement. Maybe one of your columns name is not correct. Ne? Remember command, we are speaking of query now. We need to write a query in those brackets, in those columns. So if the query is not correct, we're going to say try. Can you guess what we're going to do? Press tab twice, eh? Wow. The code is now lit. Okay. Now we have a try inside another try. This is called nested try statement. Okay. But it's the same thing. We already used EX, ne? Let's use EXX. And do we need the throw? No, we don't need the throw. So remember here we're talking to the user, ne? So message box dot show Same thing here. Plus EXX. But what is the perfect message here? It can't say fail to connect to DB. We're no longer connecting it, right? This is after we've connected. So failed to save data. Same thing. /n/n error detail. You can easily copy the other message box and just change from fail to connect to database to say fail to save data. This is when we are pressing save, ne? And then our SQL statement is not working. Fail to save the data /n/n, and we bring back our EX. Oh, there's no bread today, ne? Hey. Okay, I'm moving on now. Back to the try. There's nothing on the try. So now we're going to say com.execute this as a non-query. Done. But if we do execute it as a non-query and it works, let's talk to the user and say message box.show, we love you. You did the right thing. So new car saved. That's it. But remember, if you say new car saved, don't forget that nice function we built called clear data. You remember it? What does it do? That, ladies and gentlemen, allow us to save the car without the picture. Oh, we're left with the query. The query is, do you remember the query to insert data? Where is it? On SQL, ne? This one. Remember this query? Hello? Yes?
My executive query doesn't give me suggestions to
Wait. Well, you have the next period when I'm in the other session to deal with all of these things. Now, remember the query I said we're writing for inserting. I need exactly the same query, but without the values. Ne? Okay, so I'm going to copy this query, all of it, and I'm going to take it to Visual Studio. So there was a reason why I wrote that query, so that I can just put it in the command. You see our command? Paste it like that. But without what? The value. So I don't need this VW. Ne? I don't need this Polo Vivo. I don't need the year. Altogether. Which language is this at? This is on SQL, ne? It needs to jump to C#. So this is how we jump to C#. 2 quotations, 2 positive sign. Here is the brand, ne? We call the brand textbox.text. We are good to go with that one. Now we need to scroll. We go to the value for the model. So we call the model. But we need to say 2 quotations, 2 positive signs. We call the model textbox.text. Done with the second one. The last one is just the year. Now the year, as you can see, doesn't have quotation because it's a what? It's an integer, right? No need for quotation. It's not a string, which will give us an issue here. I'm thinking of a best way to do this. Yeah. I'm thinking now. I should have kept it as a string. Life was gonna be simple. This database is gonna give us an issue on this value. Let me try it. So it's okay, double quotation, 2 positive signs, and then call up the year text box dot to string, hey, text box dot text dot to string. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, forgive me here, guys. I'm using my skills now. My mind is all over now. Okay. How can I convert this to be a number? Oh, yes, there's a convert function. So, convert, I think it starts with a capital C. Convert. Convert dot to int 32. Ooh, finally. What am I converting? I'm converting this. Yeah. Okay, I got it. So it's convert to int 32. What are we converting? We're converting the text box, its own text, after being converted to what? To string. Okay, we actually don't need to string, because this text is already on a string mode. So convert to int 32 the text box, which is holding the year. Done. My program is working. What time is it? We have 10 minutes to convert the picture and load it. What? You can still go at 30:30. All right. Here is the preview. Brand BMW M2 2020. Remember the picture, we're not looking at it for now, ne? Hello? We're not looking at the picture, ne? So if I press save, what is the message? New car edit. Before we check any further, we go and say we have a query for selecting here. Let's check if that car has really been added. And as you can see, the car has been added without a picture. Okay. Now, when I come back, you should be exactly where I am. You can put your